Welcome to another week of Ether Raids. We are starting off with a loss on defense. I wasn't able to finish the new defense in time, so the old defense took a loss. Granted, it really wasn't that much of a loss. They just didn't surrender, which is unfortunate, but what can you do? New defense has been completed. Just gotta get some results in to see if it's actually working. I don't know. I usually like to use maybe the first two to see if I can tweak things, but unfortunately the first match, as I mentioned, was a loss on the old defense, so no data so far for the new defense to see if it's actually performing. So we're gonna have to wait hopefully not too long to see what's going on, because you set it up and you just hope it works right, but sometimes it does weird things and you just it just doesn't go as planned. But yeah, that's what's going on. I'm gonna play a couple matches today. We got 2 lined up, and I ended up putting Ash on the majority of my teams here, even though she's not really offering anything. She's not set up for Gale Force on this team, so
don't be
she's kind of just here. She took out. She's
careful
in Yunaka's spot, which is unfortunate. I did have the option to go with Alm, but blessings wise, it's cheaper for me to use Ash since she's already blessed for lights, or you can't change her blessing. She's a light mythic, so it's cheaper for me to use Ash, whereas I would have needed to re-bless Alm for light season. He's currently blessed for Astra. I think I'll give him a shot in Astra season, just because I have some teams set up there that he can actually work on. So you can expect some Alm content come next week, but for this week, no Attune Alm. Just a ton of Ash, and I don't know what good that will do, but we'll see. This team, at least I'm happy that I was able to get it to be functional. Granted, traps are still a major downside to this team now, since Yunaka is no longer on here with the disarm trap, so it's more of a go in, test the trap, and then get back out type of deal, which is way harder now because of how much range defenses have with the modern threats in Ether Raids. Looking at Erica, Yunaka, Camilla, there's just so much range that I don't know. I feel like it's getting to the point where I might consider using the safety fence just for team compositions like this one that kind of need some turns to set up because of trap placements. This team is very vulnerable to failing as a result of trap placements, or not being usable because of where traps are placed. So it's something that's on my mind, although I don't think I'll end up going that route. I think if I ever do go the route of using the safety fence, I'll probably get rid of the escape ladders, because at that point, what am I even doing? For now, it's not that big of a concern. It's really just on my mind because Yunaka isn't here, and I don't know who I would have swapped her out for. Lately I've loved having to not rely on Wings of Mercy. I feel like it's such a it was good for the time that we had it, but I feel like now Wings of Mercy is such a dead skill. There's so many other ways that you can warp, and I'd rather utilize those. But let's play one more, man. Okay, we got Flop Accountant for our second match here. This is actually not the greatest matchup for me. Remember I was saying in the earlier segment there that a lot of threat range because of the units that are currently in the meta, and also of course the Celica ring and the Sigurd ring as well to an extent. So the problem here is there's no way that I could initiate on this with my player face teams because of the trap placements. It's just going to take too many turns for me to set up, and I don't have the luxury of turns here because of how much range this team has. And low-key, my god, still being a nuisance, primarily because of the gravity in this particular situation. It would have slowed down some of my teams. But had to go with the tanking strat here, and we're going to hope that turn 2 works out in our favor with Loki's positioning, as well as Micaiah's positioning, because Micaiah has the Lin ring. So it's all gonna come down to where Micaiah and Loki end up going in terms of whether or not I can play on past turn 2. Turn 1, I think we can safely tank Golveg, take out Golveg. That's the play here, because I can't tank Erica, because Embla plus Loki is still a very strong combination. Personally, I prefer Lorather.
Right.
How am I able to say that now? Words. Plus Loki. I feel like that's a more appropriate combination because he gives the assigned decoy, which is an additional status effect, and then Loki will then wipe everything out. So in the event where the opponent isn't getting to more than 3 or more status buffs, he will give one more, and then Loki can then take everything away. So I like that configuration a little bit more, as well as the flash on top of it means that you have an additional thing to consider when you're trying to tank. But Embla is still very, very good. I do intend to invest in. I'd love to get one of these Dark Mythics to +10. I have a couple options on Anima season of mythics that are anima mythics that are actually close to +10, but I don't have something similar on Dark season. I have a lot of merges on Embla, and I think she's the closest one. Alright, what do we got here with Kaya? Lin Ring. That's not great. Alright, so Erica has pretty much coverage over the entire bottom row. I think she is also really good on the old Cavline map, if you wanted to use that one. I think she's usable there because of threat range. But this is also a good alternative. This is actually mimicking that Cavline map. It's just that this has more impassable terrain for everything that isn't infantry. But this is actually quite bad. I don't have a ton of space here, primarily to get Sedith out of the way. Sedith is really the only one who would die here, or the main unit that would die here. Well, I mean, Erica's the only one that could tank Micaiah here, potentially, because of the Vantage. So I don't have a lot of room to work with here, if any at all. I'd have to put her into one of the spots where the Lin Ring is active, and also I have to consider avoiding the Emblem Erica as well. So there's not a lot of space to work with here, and it's looking like I might not be able to continue actually, because I don't have player phase here because of armors on the enemy team. So yeah, this is not looking great. I don't think I can get Sedith to a spot that's safe. Unless I were to open a space and try to go up, but then without Sedith's support, a tuned Erica will die to Emblem Erica, especially with feud and Loki being a factor. It's just going to be too much for her to tank. She won't have any support or any of her effects, so it's basically it's an unfair matchup, essentially what it would boil down to. So this is looking like a loss at this point. I don't think I can continue. This is one of those situations where if I had the fence, I would have, taken some time to step on some traps and then try to player phase it, which is really what I wanted to do, but because no Yunaka, to get on the traps and then get things going. This team, or this defense, is really something that I would have used Lapis Edelgard for, but again, traps. I'd have to go all the way on the side there where the catapult is, and that's just too far to go in one turn. I think this is GG's. I don't think I can win this one, actually. I think I'm just stalling here to see if I can figure something out, but nothing is immediately coming to mind, man. It's so much threat range. I don't know if it's like bad or good just yet. I think if we start getting more units that can do what Erica does, it could potentially be a negative, but jeez, it's so much threat range, man. It's a lot. Yeah, this is a lot of threat range. We're in a threat range meta, and I just can't compete with this one currently. So we're just gonna have to back out of here, man. You got me. GG's. Okay, here's our second attempt. Second attempt. We're gonna go with the player face strat here, since this one is a little bit more aligned to what I would like to do, which is blow stuff up with Yunaka. So we're gonna keep doing that because that's what this team is built for. I actually dropped Peony, which is insane. I had a merge available for Ashe, so I finally used that. Attack defense unity was the fodder that I gave up for that. I had that manual of Ashe just stored up in the event that I ever wanted that. I guess I also gave up spiked wall as well. Don't think the spiked wall skill is going to age very well. I think its bulwark is good, but with what Erica is offering now, I don't think the bulwark effect matters anymore. Yeah, if that's the route that we're going to be going down, we're going to just start. We are going to need more frontliners with distant counter. The bulwark doesn't really matter anymore for melee threats. If Erica is a what's the word? A beacon? Nah, that's not the word though. But something in that vein of what we're to expect moving forward. Then I don't see Barricade holding a ton of value. So yeah, not high on that. In terms of that was part of my decision making in terms of merging Ashe, my Ashe copies, which is so weird. I've never gotten another copy of Ashe since she's been available on banners. Never gotten another copy, even though she was free. The only one that I have was the free one. I've never gotten another copy of her, which is insane because of how long she's been running.
Target acquired.
So there's that. And attack defense unity. I prefer speed defense unity, which is finally in the game. I can, not having the attack, buff is okay given how high most units attack stats go these days. I'd rather to double than to hit hard once. So speed defense unity is now my preferred unity skill for melee units, and of course I don't think we have speed res unity yet, which would be for res variants. I don't think we have that yet. Am I mistaken? Am I wrong? No, I don't think so. So yeah, I'm done with attack defense unity pretty much. So I was okay with like merging my Ashe copies. Now, that aside, this team is, again, really, really fun. I think I have enough actions to clear this in one turn if I wanted to, but I also need to get the pots, so we got to play a little bit more carefully here.
Challenging.
And I was saying that this is probably the first time or the first week that I've dropped Peony in light season, just because I wanted to keep using Yunaka, and I can't drop Rune just yet because of the slot availability. I'm really hoping that they give us, updated dancers at some point, maybe on the next book. That would be nice. I don't see why we have to be stuck with Peony, Triandra, and Mirabilis with their kits the way that they are. I like the fact that there's still an option. You can use them, but I would also like to get dance. Like, this Plumeria will age very, very well because of how powerful Frozen is as a stat debuff. I don't think that's going to come out of fashion, out of the meta anytime soon. I think Frozen will be good for the long haul, and then everything else that she does is just equally as powerful. So I feel like she's a very, very strong dancer, and in comparison to Peony, but I get what they're trying to do, give us options so that we can then move away from the mythic dancers, but a lot of people have those mythic dancers highly invested for offense, so I wish they had given us a way to upgrade the dancers without completely gutting their kits. Or just give us brand new dancers, mythic, that are mythic, and give us the choice to use those. Because what if a mythic dancer is ever bonus, automatically you're going to want to use them. So just give us like another one, and we can just rotate them out. I would appreciate that. We get plenty of melee units, range units all the time, but I don't think we're ever going to get another dancer. It's just me hoping that it happens. But yeah, just some thoughts on my mind. Looking forward to getting some matches in to see how SD will actually function now with Erica being in the meta. It was no point in practicing how to play against Erica in Erosion season, because that's only going to happen. All the other captain skills play around having a savior, I guess, except there's one other one that you can kind of get away. No. The majority of captain skills play around having a savior, so it wasn't to my benefit to try to practice around playing against Erica in Erosion season, because it's so easy for your opponent to just ignore Erica altogether and snipe you. So I really didn't try, but that's what I'm going to be doing a lot of this week. I think next week is SDS, so I'm going to be getting into that to see how I can counter. As predicted, it is indeed Might of Myriads, because I don't see how else we would be able to function without it, given that this is going to be Erica's first season in SDS. But yeah, a lot to do this week. First match is down. Let's see how the defense holds up.